Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is Fancy Josh, and today I've got a game for you between desertBeliever as our Wehrmacht, and his opponent today is going to be Oziligath as our British. Map today is Angeville Farms. 2 victory points on the right with the cluttered buildings and hedgerows blocking all the sightlines. 1 victory point on the left, wide open spaces. And 2 fuel points near the center of the map that we are going to see lots of fights over. So this is actually a viewer-submitted replay, and I won't spoil anything about it. We'll talk about that towards the end. But this is a high-rated game. desertBeliever ranked 135 as Wehrmacht, and Oziligath is in the 30s as British. But I've had Oziligath on the channel before. He does stream on Twitch, so if you like streaming, watching streams, definitely recommend checking out his channel. Both players opening very standard. Royal Engineers into infantry section for our British player, while our German player has gone Pioneer into Grenadier. This is kind of the middle of the road German build, right? I've seen players go as high as 4 Pioneers, which is a little on the crazy side. And then I've seen, players go no Pioneers, which I also think is a little on the crazy side. 2 is kind of that sweet spot. Probably see 3 Grenadiers in combination with this build, but sometimes you'll see players go for that heavy machine gun after 2nd Grenadier. Kind of depends what they're up against, what they're feeling that day. Heavy machine guns on this map used to be crazy overpowered back in previous iterations of this game. I mean, it was impossible to get heavy machine guns out of these buildings. If your opponent got a heavy machine gun in this building when you're on Blue's side, you're going to have a bad time. But that is no longer the case. Really like this play from our British player, snaking away this fuel from his opponent. Going to deny that to him. I kind of like that our German player is using both of his Pioneers in concert. A lot of times you'll see them kind of just spread out or supported by Grenadiers, but Engineers working together is kind of interesting here. It's going to be a little bit of a slow fight here. Both the units fighting at the upper range of their effective ranges, I should say. Riflemen chasing these Grenadiers down. Heavy machine gun on the way for our German. No surprise there. Royal Engineers winning that fight on the left side with the help of the infantry section. And a dingo on the way for our British player. Both players making some moves here. And despite the fact that our German player controls both fuel, he's not going to end up getting very much income to start this game off, although a slight advantage is going to serve him well. Heavy machine gun coming in just in time. We'll see if he micros to take down this infantry section. He did micro, but just a little bit too late there to stop that unit getting in heavy cover. So aggressive start for our British player, going in very deep here, flanking with these Royal Engineers, trying to keep that fight alive as long as possible. Heavy machine gun backed up by these Pioneers here. Infantry section not helping out because they're out of vision, out of range there. Royal Engineers picking up those flamethrowers right as they hit the area. But this Royal Engineer's got to go. And lovely positioning from our British player. Might lose that Engineer on the retreat. That would be majorly unfortunate. And going to get him at the max range there. British player looking like he's going to move to secure the flamethrower and then probably want to get out of there. But again, while this is happening, I was about to say our British player has the fuel income, and I guess technically he does, right? He has 2 of the minor fuel points, while his opponent controls none of them. But my point here is that our German is not getting income while this is happening. He's going to try to change that quickly here. And British player going up to a 3rd infantry section here. Looks like the dingo did get in a scuffle here. And okay, so our German player has gone for breakthrough battle group here, and he's picked up... breakthrough battle group. I don't know why I second-guessed myself on that. And has picked up this breakthrough ability, which, if you saw my game from... I think it was on the Toronto Coastline game. If you haven't seen that game, I highly recommend checking it out. It was one of my favorite games that I've posted recently. but in that game we saw our German player making excellent use of this breakthrough ability to pick up a ton of territory really quickly, doing it multiple times at key moments in the game, and it really affected the outcome of that game. And trust me, that's no spoilers there, so don't worry about that. But it was very cool. Changed the flow of the game. Anyway, loving to see that from our German player here. You can see the map turn blue rather quickly, and yeah, that's very cool to see. So our British player has gone for the heavy armor battle group, which is a little less popular in 1v1s these days, at least recently, in my opinion. It's been I've seen a lot of players going for sea and land and sea, no, sea and air. Pretend I know what the name of that battle group is. The one with the commandos that have the hidden demolition charges that got patched last patch. Ooh, grenade into the building as the unit enters. Are they going to get out? They are not. They're going to take a bunch of damage there. Might go down on the retreat here, but Grenadiers jumping in the house. Not quite going to have the angle there. Dingo coming to help. So, by locking in this heavily armor battle group for our British player, I do think we're going to see potentially some Stuarts this game. You do see people go for this build when going for... when you go for the Humber Armored Car, it's not as common, but with Stuarts and this veterancy ability, this rigorous vehicle training, leveling up your units much more quickly, it makes a big difference with something like Stuarts. That said, British player could just as well choose to go for a Humber Armored Car. So, critically, our British player does have access to one of the high fuel points, but has definitely been behind in a big way this game. And I do believe our German player is probably going to be thinking about getting up to Luftwaffe support elements pretty quickly here. But it does look like he's prioritizing the... Oh, and I guess he's gone for Panzer Grenadiers here. So, of course, doesn't have access to... Another nice preemptive grenade there. Getting a decent connection against that flamethrower infantry section. Infantry section may go down on the retreat here. Pioneers don't have that great long range, though. It does look like he's going to barely sneak out of there. So this AT gun, just right on time to deal with this Humber Armored Car. And when you're going for the... Panzer Grenadier... If I could get my words together here. Panzer Grenadier Company, right? You are going to see a lot less... you don't see Jaegers, right? And that's a really common build for Wehrmacht players, so it's cool to see our German player going for basically the alternatives, which is to say Panzer Grenadiers plus AT gun. And British player adding on his field infirmary now. We did see the Humber Armored Car eat a Panzerfaust earlier, so gonna have to go get repaired up. Doing double duty with those Royal Engineers, gonna repair and capture at the same time. So, British player adding on a recce package here. Man, our British player's been getting his butt kicked with these infantry sections. I mean, he's almost lost 3 of them. I mean, I guess he did lose one of... he lost his Royal Engineers, but it feels like he's been almost losing that unit every stinking time here. So, this map in particular, I think, is a bit rough for AT guns in general. They only have a couple spots where they feel like they're really impactful, and that's in this area here. The whole left side's wide open, so AT guns are great on that side. But AT guns on this right side can be a bit tough. Humber Armored Car in a real bad spot there. Should make it out okay. There are Grenadiers on the side, but I don't think they're going to get them. They were trying. Breakthrough used again here to pick up a bunch of territory really quickly. You know, we're going to quickly take a look here at what that actually costs in terms of munitions, because I don't know off the top. Only 40 munitions. I mean, that's basically the cost of a grenade, which is really stinking cheap. So I love that he's using that pretty frequently here. AT gun, again, being supported by... So this is beautiful, like using those combined arms, keeping the AT gun with infantry, and he's being aggressive with the AT gun and getting in the face of this armored car, so really making that AT gun work. British player has gone for, or excuse me, German player has gone for this mechanized assault group to get those early Stoßtruppen. Very powerful ability. Was that a fake flare? I think it was a fake flare. Trying to get his opponent to retreat, but the German not falling for it. So mechanized, yeah, like I was saying, early Stoßtruppen, very, very powerful. AT gun still in position here. But those early Stoßtruppen can do a number on our German player here for sure. Or on the British player. So the British player's also picked up infantry training here. So that's going to really serve him well. Leveling all these units up to Veterancy 1, as well as giving them plus 10% harder to hit, 10% accuracy. I mean, it's just a huge stinking buff. See it pretty much every game. I'm liking to see that here. Now this Humber armored car leveling up pretty quickly because of this rigorous vehicle training. So where does our British player go from here? He has been denied fuel continuously this game, it feels like. Only on 8 income right now. That's pretty... not going to feel super great. I do believe that's a fake flare again there, since he just barraged. Even if it was real, it wasn't going to fire here. Did manage to make his opponent reposition, though. AT gun setting up. Going to get a shot on this Humber armored car. Grenadiers, Panzer Grenadiers not able to snare it, so both players going to back away. Ooh, wow, max range AT gun. I'm not sure if he had vision or if that was attack ground, but that was a great shot. Gonna destroy that Humber armored car. Love to see that. And while this is happening, British player is capturing some points on the left side, taking everything for free, but unfortunately for him is not connected to any territory because the German has been very proactive about taking this cutoff point. So, really liking this composition for our German here. British player adding on an AT gun to deal with this half-track as well as any future vehicles. Now, as the game goes on, you know, I think that this area, this side of the map can open up a bit, right? Because of the natural destruction of the environment.
The enemy has claimed our sector.
And AT guns become better on this right side the longer the game goes. But it's just surprising to see both our players duking it out on this right side, when I think they're both going to be more comfortable fighting on the left long term. But maybe that's just me. So interestingly enough... Oh yeah, I was going to say, German player did upgrade to a Stummel here. Stummel very good against exactly this type of thing. Units that are stationary. And I was, right before I saw that he had upgraded, I was going to say it's a bit uncommon to see players not go for Stummel here, but then of course he did finish that upgrade. Grenadiers using the breakthrough to once again try to take this cutoff point. British player does have the option to stop him, but the German's going to retreat before things get hairy. Panzer Grenadiers closing the gap with these flamethrowers from our British player. And dealing a decent amount of damage here. Infantry section's got to go right now. Might go down on the retreat there. And nice pickup once again by our German. And it does look like the Dingo went down same time there, right here. Is that an AT gun helping out? Doesn't look like it. Just maybe took too much damage there. So nice pickup for our German overall. So phosphorus grenade going down on that heavy machine gun. Gonna drive him back. And man, it seems like our British player is struggling this game. I mean, this game is coming down to attrition so far. I mean, our German player has done a great job keeping all of his units alive, while also taking some pretty decisive fights and destroying some critical units at critical times. Really going to put him... I mean, he's up a Stummel, an infantry section, and a Royal Engineer, and a Dingo. So, I mean, we're nearing 1,000 manpower advantage. That is pretty substantial. Love this from our German, planting even more, planting mines over here, making this area harder to take back for his opponent. And German player hemming his opponent into his base. I like that our British player is still being active over here, still trying to pick up territory as he should. He's recognizing that his opponent is strong here, and he's trying to get stuff done elsewhere. And I think what's happening in the build queue right now is pretty much the story of this game, which is to say, German player has dominated the fuel income throughout this game, and Panzer IV being added on for our German, while a Stuart is added on for our British player. That really tells the story here. Now, if our British player is able to take down this Panzer IV with something like an AT gun and anti-tank grenade combination, I think there is a chance for him, but this Stuart is going to have to be very, very careful. British player choosing to finish the construction of the Stummel despite seeing the Panzer IV. Feeling like he needs armor of any sort to get him back into this game. I think he's going to need another AT gun here. But German once again activating that. Oh, I was going to say. Yeah, sorry, the sound cue tricked me there. I thought he was activating it once again, but was not. AT gun perfectly positioned to deal with this Stuart here. Panzer IV responding. Stuart is going to get out of the arc of the AT gun there, but this Panzer IV is going to have something to say about it. British player choosing to stay in the area. Stummel barraging from over the hedgerows there, going to take out that heavy machine gun. AT gun trying to fire our attack ground at the Stummel. Stummel backing away. And looks like both our players going to slink away from that fight without any real losses. British player should be able to take back his own heavy machine gun. Panzer IV covering the retreat. Mines picking up some infantry section there. And things looking really, really good for our Wehrmacht player here. Adding on side skirts now, further cement the combat effectiveness of this unit. Wouldn't be terribly surprised if we saw him go for Veteran C1 out of the Panzer Command there. AT gun getting a shot here, but then being blasted by the Panzer IV infantry in the area to screen for this unit. Getting a freaking fantastic connection on that second shot from the Panzer IV. AT gun continuing to retreat. Heavy machine gun looks like it's going to go down. Stuart trying to help out, but in a really bad spot. Popping smoke to keep units alive here. Fortunately for him, Panzerfaust not able to connect through the smoke there. And both units attacking ground, a grenade coming out. And wow. Great use of the Stuart here, finding an isolated infantry unit to potentially deal some damage there. Second Stuart on the field here. So this is interesting from our British player here. I mean, he's basic, you know, he knows he's behind. And choosing to go for two Stuarts to try and get back into this game with the hope of swapping out Stuarts for Crusaders if he can make this game go long enough. And I think that's within the realm of possibility, especially with this rigorous vehicle training that he has access to. There's certainly a chance for him here. Now, actually, now that I'm stating that, and actually losing that Stuart is pretty darn devastating. German player replacing a mine here. And this triple cap is absolutely brutal for our British player here. So what I was about to say, before I was rudely interrupted by the death of that Stuart, is that our British player's way back into this game is potentially getting up to Churchill's. But that said, it's going to be a tall order because of how much he's lost. He's definitely going to have to snipe some pretty critical units here. He is getting aggressive with the AT gun, calling down a base barrage, forward observer, artillery barrage there. Try and drive his opponent back. German choosing instead to move forward here. AT gun setting up on the Stuart. Getting a nice little connection there. But all this infantry pushing in here is going to drive back those Royal Engineers. And 2nd Panzer IV on the way. Things continuing to look very good for our German player. Now, I'm wondering... I was about to talk about let me put it this way. I like that our British player is staying in this game, despite the fact that he is pretty far behind and he knows it. It can teach you a lot about your opponent. It can teach you a lot about how to come back in a losing situation. You know, you miss the shots you don't take, right? And it's easy for us to say, well, he's about a million beers behind, and he is. But staying in a game, you can win games you wouldn't necessarily think. Oh, man, Panzer IV wiping some infantry there. Holy cow, what a shot. AT guns doing a number on these Panzer IVs. Panzer IVs willing to just sit here and trade. Royal Pioneers are pairing up. AT gun going to go down there. Stewart helping out. And British player finally going to throw in the towel there. So, pretty dominant from our German player there. I mean, absolutely. I mean, it started with that first Royal Engineer wipe. But, I mean, he just ran over his opponent with the fairly critical squad wipes and also vehicle losses early there. Our British player wasn't able to get the ball rolling, and German player did not throw the lead, which is an easy thing to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this game, and I will see you in the next one.